Report a shot fired at officers trying to stop the vehicle. We have one officer shot.
We got shots fired. Sounded like an automatic firearm.
Copy, code red, shots fired.
We have an active shooter. We have an active shooter inside the warehouse.
Now it's Shots Fired with your hosts TJ Kirgin, Dinah Death Milberg, and the lovely Krystal Powers.
Why are you so awkward there, bud?
Who are you talking to, bub?
I think he said bud.
I know. I said
But
bub.
you said bub.
Bub is better.
Welcome to Shots Fired. This is your host, TJ Kirgin, a.k.a. ᵃᵗ&ᵗ. I'm your local warlord, and I haven't been here in a hot minute.
No.
I want to
even
apologize.
maintain the title of local warlord?
Oh, no, absolutely.
Very
I have definitely maintained my local warlord status. There's no doubt about that. I just have not maintained my on-air personality.
True. Just true.
I've had a lot going on.
You have. You've had a busy summer. None of it exactly fun.
No. I just got back from what is it? Shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
I had my labrum repaired, which is your rotator cuff. But the good, not the good news, but what the good news for the surgeon, because he got to charge me more, is when he got in there, my bicep tendon was also shredded, and so they had to cut my bicep off and then reattach it. So got you can see there right there in the corner. You can't see on the radio, but this is theater of the mind.
Does that itch?
I have a giant slash with stitches in it in my armpit.
Actually, pretty small.
Yeah.
To be fair, if you're feeling self-conscious, it's not.
Wow.
It's not giant.
Are you talking about the cut in my armpit?
Yep.
I hope so.
Yep.
Okay.
Also, you're looking very tan. Let's change the subject.
Thank you. Well, when you can't do anything because you're the one-armed man, you tend to just sit outside a lot. And
Are you
smoke
not
cigars
allowed
with
to
one
use
hand.
your arm? Or?
Well, no. So for the first 2 weeks, I had to have one of those sling things.
Couldn't
with
even drive.
it's like a sling with a pillow between you and the arm, and you can't move it. I'll tell you how it went. So I had this same surgery. If anybody out there has shoulder issues, just listen to me. Get it fixed. It's absolutely worth it. I had this same surgery in 2006, I think, when I was like in my mid-20s on my right shoulder. Mm-hmm. And I always said it was the best thing I ever did because it went from being extremely unstable, dislocating all the time. It made me a liability. This show's about being an asset, not to yourself and your family, not a liability. And that's precisely why I just got this arm fixed, because I had gotten to the point to where I was a liability. I couldn't fight my way out of a paper bag because my shoulder was so unstable and so painful. So I got it fixed, 16 years ago on my right side, and I got it done by Dr. Lyndon Gross. He's not paying for this, by the way. And Dr. Lyndon Gross, the reason I had it done for him, I was actually working for another radio station back then, and I was working with the St. Louis Cardinals baseball team, doing marketing stuff. And I talked to some of those guys, and they're like, well, if you're getting your shoulder fixed, you should go to Dr. Gross because he does all the pitchers. And I'm like, well, all I do is wank with that arm. I'm not throwing it for $1 million at 100 mile an hour. So I think it would be good to, I could use him to get my shoulder fixed. So I got it fixed, and it was great. And it was very painful, and the recovery I remember was like 6 months.
Oh.
And, and so fast forwarded now, here I am, 49 years old, and I need to get the other one done. And I'll explain the injury in a minute, but my wife comes home from Precision Fitness and Medical Spa. We talk about them a lot. And she's like, oh, you should have Dr. Gross do it. He works out at Precision, and he's the best in St. Louis. And I'm like, man, that name sounds familiar. I was like, okay, yeah, give me his card. So I get his card, and I Google him. I'm like, this is the same guy that fixed me 16 years ago. And so not only did he do an incredible job, but the recovery time, in my opinion, and I'm 20 years older now. The recovery time has been way faster.
Well, the technology advancement.
My mobility is incredible. So here's how it went down. The first day after surgery, I had a nerve block. So they stick a needle in your neck, and they drive it in there with an MRI. And I couldn't feel a dang thing. Like my entire arm felt like a dead appendage. It wasn't even tingly, at first. And so the what is it? The esthetician? No, they work on faces. It's anesthesiologist.
Yeah.
The anesthesiologist says, oh, well, typically wore off in like 8 to 12 hours. Well, like 24 hours later, I still can't feel my arm. I'm like, oh, okay, great. Now I have nerve damage. Well, because of that, though, I didn't take any drugs. I was like, I'm not going to take any opioids. I'm going to muscle through this. And I'm a man up. Right?
And then it went away.
And then it went. So when the nerve block wears off, it wears off in an hour.
Oh, so
And
you go from 0 to 100.
0 to 100 real quick. And it was unbearable pain.
I've heard that's one of the more painful
For
recoveries.
day one. I was in no shape to be a human. But my wife quickly got on top of it with the opioids. And by day 2, pain was bad but manageable. Day 3, completely manageable. Day 4, no pain. And I haven't had any pain since.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if I do something wrong,
Yeah.
I get a tweak or a pain, like, hey, don't do that. But right now, like, I finally got released. I got released out of the sling after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so that it used to be like 6. And so now they released me out of the sling in 2 weeks. By 3 weeks, I was driving. And so I actually drove here to the studio today. And I told the PT guy, I said, hey, I'm supposed to go on a car rally with my car club, Need for Speed.
Yeah.
On August 5th. We're gonna do, we're gonna exceed posted speed limits in some state nearby for several hours. And I need to be, my goal is to be able to drive in that rally, right? And so that's my goal right now, is to be able to do that. Could I do that today? No. But I got another week to 10 days, I think, before I can, and every day it's getting better and better and better.
Yeah, if you heal this quick, I would assume in 10 days it's going to be completely different than it is now.
Yeah, it's been absolutely amazing.
When can you start working out?
They let me bench press a super lightweight PVC pipe yesterday.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah, it was very painful. You'd never realize how weak you can be until you have something like this done. And, they completely sever the bicep from essentially where the bicep touches my chest muscle.
Yeah.
So, but I got it done. And, and then, immediately afterwards, it's even better. So every time you do the PT, that's the key thing. If you have a surgery like this, whether it's your knee or your shoulder or your elbow or your weenus, which is your elbow, right? You just have to do the PT. So like I'm doing PT 3 times a day. I go to the PT guy twice a week. And
That's good. That movement.
I bought one of those ice pump machines that like you put this thing on my shoulder and it just pumps ice water over it. And
What?
yeah, it's pretty rad.
That's some fancy white people stuff, right?
It's actually, you know what I heard it from guys from the VA. Evidently, y'all military dudes get those things as part of your surgery. I had to go buy mine on Amazon.
I have not heard of this, although I have never had surgery in my life.
But you're about to.
What?
Possibly. I'll find out.
How have you? What?
Yeah.
Are you?
His wife had the baby.
What, you talk about your back all the time?
Yeah. I never had surgery.
Really?
Put everything
That's why he
off.
talks about it all the time, because he doesn't get anything fixed.
Yeah.
This is the guy. Are you still wearing your knee brace?
Yeah.
So this show is going to be all about just how we as men and women in this industry, self-defense industry, tactical industry, we just destroy our bodies. But
Yeah.
you also have to, if you're going to live this lifestyle, you have to keep up on it.
Well, you
Yeah.
got to take care of
You
yourself.
got to fix what's broken.
The way I look at it, there was an opportunity to find a weak point. I found it, and now I can get it fixed, so it's not going to be an issue anymore, hopefully.
So you blew out your knee just the other day.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. The 10th of August is when I've got MRIs to find out if the chiropractor today said I definitely didn't completely destroy my meniscus, but he thinks there's probably some shredding and some repair that has to happen.
You went and saw Dr. Ritch-Koling in St. Peter's?
Yep, he
Good guy.
checked out my back because of my knee acting up, and then threw my back out, and my back being thrown out has started acting up my right knee, which was my bad knee. My left knee, the one I blew out, was my good knee. And then he started messing with my back this morning, and it be bad.
Oh, your back's really messed up?
Just off feel and just pressing around, my L1, L4, and L5 are toast.
Oh, wow.
He's going to find out more, but he's like, I'm not even going to align you till I get x-rays and I can see what I'm working with. And then we're going to try to convince the doc when they MRI my knee to throw my back in there. Because apparently, I'm not going to say what hospital, but they weren't very smart. And after I got turned into a human projectile into a BMW,
Oh, yeah, that was leaving the station when
Yeah.
you got hit on your motorcycle.
They never X-rayed or did anything with my back, my head, my neck, nothing.
What?
Yeah, I know. That's what he said. He's like, "You're kidding me, right?" And I'm like,
How is that a
No.
protocol
Back,
for them?
My neck.
Nope.
No. Anyway, hey, I think it's about time for a break. We got 1 minute?
"We got
We
one
got
minute."
1 minute. So, hey, for the last minute of this segment, we need to talk about something. This is the last show
It is.
for a hot minute that
It
you're
is.
going to hear on the air. We are taking a hiatus.
But are we still doing the podcast?
Yes.
In other places.
We are
Yes.
taking a tactical sabbatical.
Ah, yeah, I like that.
I
That
do.
was,
I like it.
yeah.
It's tactical sabbatical. You need, if you like this show, if you are one of the 5 people listening that are not my mom, please subscribe to the podcast on wherever you like to listen to podcasts. If you're Hank Hill and you don't know where to listen to a podcast, then Google it. You can listen to the podcasts on your iPhone, on your Android. Just search podcast. You'll find it.
YouTubes.
And once you get to the podcast thingamajigger, search Shots Fired. I almost said Need for Speed. Different thing. Search Shots Fired, and we are the one with the tactical SHT logo, the Spartan helmet made of guns. That's us. That's our show. You can subscribe to us there. You can also subscribe on YouTube and see Alex and I's ugly faces and the lovely Krystal Powers. Subscribe to our podcast. We'll be right back after this.
Sucker punch somebody on the sidewalk.
All right, let's talk about this tactical sabbatical.
Yeah.
So this show is coming off the air for a while.
Yep.
Not because we don't love Real Talk 93.3 and its listeners, because we do.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I'll be honest, this is my decision, partially because I've already missed, 3 or 4 shows in the last 6 weeks.
It's been 3 or 4. Yeah.
Because of my surgery and because I live in Florida and this isn't Florida. And I'm going to be spending a lot more time. I'm up here recovering. I came up to Missouri to recover, and thank God I did. It's been 90 something here every day.
Yeah.
And down at my house in Florida, it's 113 and the water's 100 degrees.
Oh, seriously?
Oh my God. It's not, it kills me because it's just feeding the global warming hipsters.
Oh, of course.
But it's a hot summer in Florida right now. And I wanted to recover up here, and so that's what I'm doing. But when my recovery is over, I'm going to be spending a lot more time at home in Florida.
Don't blame
And it's kind of hard to do this radio show when I'm in another state because our technology just isn't there for the call-in. It just doesn't sound as good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a tactical sabbatical. We're still going to do our show every week. On we're gonna record it on Thursdays. It'll probably get published every Saturday morning, just like this one. And nothing's going to change, and we will be back on the radio. Yep. Unless, of course, Tracy Ellis and the team here at Real Talk don't want us back at when we come back. But I would think we're going to be back on the air sometime after this election gets fired up, probably this winter, late fall, hunting season, that sort of thing.
Yep.
We're just going to take a couple months, get our podcast studio built, focus on the podcast for a while, and hopefully the listeners will stick with us.
I'm just excited for the gun wall.
You're excited for the gun wall? You have always been excited for the
I
gun
know.
wall.
I just keep plugging it.
Yeah.
I just want to see it.
Gun walls are pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of guns, Alex, what's going on in the gun world right now? It's been a pretty slow,
It's been dead.
Biden's son, his plea deal on the weapons charges just fell apart. So that's cool.
Yeah. Also, they show the news right here as we're talking, and apparently the White House, they came out that there will not be a pardon.
Oh, yeah.
So he might actually be in trouble.
Wow.
still don't think
Sacrificial
much.
lamb. I think that's in the Bible somewhere. In this story in the Bible.
That's kind of what that screams.
Can you
as they
imagine a
roll
Bible
over.
like 2,000 years from now, and it's like an entire book dedicated to the son of Biden, the sacrificial lamb.
Well, that coincides with
Biden's the
China
Antichrist.
rewriting the Bible. Did you see
What?
that?
I saw that AI was rewriting the Bible. I didn't know it was
That couldn't
China.
possibly
Yeah,
go
China.
bad.
China is rewriting the Bible?
Yeah, they're rewriting the specific parts of the Bible as well as a couple of the Ten Commandments because, as we know, religion is the enemy of communists.
Yeah.
So they want you to worship them.
So
They're great
in
leaders.
China, it's probably illegal to read the Bible, but if they change the Bible, will they then allow them to read it?
I don't know that it's illegal to read the Bible because they talked about whatever I read. It was a couple Protestant churches, I don't know, maybe this version of the Bible's
What do you think they're
legal
changing?
for them. Well, they talked about, so you know the story of the woman who was caught in adultery and she was thrown at Jesus' feet and
Mary Magdalene?
Different one.
Different one.
And he writes something in the sand, and then all the people who accused her and they wanted her to be stoned, they left.
Yeah, because they didn't live in glass houses or something. Well, they didn't have glass houses back then. That's a different thing.
Well, so in the Bible, the story goes that Jesus says, turn around, and who's accusing you? And she's like, no one. And he's like, well, then you're free to go. Go and sin no more.
Yeah.
But in the new...
Cast the first stone.
Yes.
Two stoned with one bird.
In the in the new version, Jesus himself stones her.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Plot twist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I heard something different than that, but it could be simultaneously going on. I heard that liberals are using AI to rewrite the Bible.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, because that's
To be more PC and all-inclusive and...
probably to add some trans stuff
Have you
to it.
heard...
and, you know.
What? I can't remember what church theology is promoting this, but the new Sparkle Creed.
The what now?
Yeah. I'll find it.
Sparkle Creed?
Yeah, I'll find it when we come back from the break. I'll read it, but it's legitimately the new Sparkle Creed. They're doing this new like trans pride friendly church where they're doing gender neutral priests and stuff. And
I'm sure that won't go bad.
No, that's not heretical at all.
Oh, the blasphemy.
Yeah, no, they legitimately have came up with the Sparkle Creed where God's genderless, Jesus is genderless, Jesus had two fathers.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure the
that
only
type.
thing that's genderless is the angels. If you
I
go by the
think
current
I'm
Bible,
pretty-
by the non-AI written Bible.
I don't know. I've been learning more about that stuff and like the whole idea of the fallen angels reproducing with humans to have giants and stuff.
Oh, Nephilim.
Yeah, would indicate they're not genderless.
Well, actually,
Or can they take
they had
form?
both genders.
That's confusing.
It is, and I actually thought that. I used to think that was what like when somebody in the media or whatever would talk about a hermaphrodite. Is that the right word?
Yeah, yeah.
You have both genders. That's what I always thought like trans people were. I didn't realize that like there was just a dude with boobs. What?
You're not wrong.
I love that take.
Hey, you know this show goes off the rails a lot. That's when we come back to the air. We're gonna rework this show a little bit.
Are we going to put the train back on the rails?
We're never putting the train back on the rails. This is like a Christmas train going around a burnt out Charlie Brown Christmas tree, and it only makes it around one time per time because there's no tracks halfway around. It's always going off the rails.
I like it.
But what I'm saying is, this show started out all about self-defense, home defense, guns, gun law, blah blah blah. And you know what? Frankly, that is very important stuff
Yep.
and close and near and dear to my heart. But it's getting a bit boring. I think we should spice it up a little bit.
I don't think it's boring. I think it's good to like touch on important like reminders. You know, like you got to practice your dry firing, and you should always back into your parking spaces.
What I'm saying is, we should talk more about motorcycles.
Oh,
Yeah.
We should talk more about cars,
I'm cool with that.
fishing, hunting.
I'm cool with that.
All of the things. With an emphasis on
Self-sufficiency.
self-sufficiency and self-protection.
I just threw that in there.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, that's where I want to take
It
the
makes
show.
sense.
That's where I want to take the show. So as we're doing our tactical sabbatical, it's basically like Alex and I are going up to the top of the mountain. And we're going to come down with a new show. But it's going to take 40 days and 40 nights.
Well, I won't be building a golden calf while you're up there.
Yeah, no, you can't come to the top of the mountain with
That
us.
didn't
My
work
wife
out.
would not have that. Hey, speaking of the top of the mountain, they grow green stuff up there. How's your store in Warrenton doing?
Good. Yeah.
It's Warrenton.
Warrenton? How's the store in Warrenton doing?
Yes. Higher Nutrition is doing actually really well.
You get the play on words there. Higher nutrition.
Yes.
Because they sell like protein and creatine, and then they sell
pre-workout, and then also CBD and THC.
post-workout.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's going good.
Is it?
Yeah, word's getting out slowly. We haven't had our grand opening yet, and we really need to get on that. But
Are you going to invite me?
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Well, and you know what? I'm sure we'll talk about it on the podcast. So subscribe to our podcast so you can stay on top of the Higher Nutrition grand opening as it's coming up. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, good, because we're going to break. We'll be back.
Okay.
Good luck.
Oh, the weather is so hot outside.
I love it. My skin loves it.
Your skin does. You are glowing a bit.
Thanks.
I'll take this over anything below 40.
Same.
Well, I'm kind of just hoping to get the temps at night down a little bit more so that the fishing can be a little bit better. Because the water during the day, I do a lot of bass fishing while I'm up here in Missouri, and the water temperatures have been hitting just astronomical.
I'm guessing I don't fish or know anything about it, but I'm guessing with it getting this hot, the fish go down.
The fish go down
stay
deeper
cool.
to stay cooler, and they
Makes
get more passive, less aggressive.
Lazy.
Yeah,
much
pretty
like
much like
everyone
us.
does being outside.
Pretty much like us.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how I was able to survive in stuff 30 degrees hotter than today with 100 pounds of gear on and go walk for 15 or 20 miles.
When you were over in the desert.
Yeah, that's like me putting on full kit right now. Long sleeves, pants, boots, helmet, armor, gear, and walking back to the shop from here.
Yeah, but that's because you thought you didn't have any other choice.
So it was like 130 degrees over there? That was kind of the normal thing?
Yeah, with the heat index.
But was it a
Oh,
dry
here we go, the
heat?
No,
index.
we were down by the Euphrates.
The heat index.
Ew.
Give me the real temperature, Alex. What was the real temperature? Not the real field temperature.
Around 120 or 125.
120, 125. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
something
all.
like that.
But you're going to tell me the heat index makes it 130. You know what?
Yeah.
Nothing irritates me more
Oh,
than
excellent.
liberal meteorologists with their heat indices and real field temperature.
Oh,
What?
My wife, she's like, what's the temperature outside? I'm like, it's 92. She's like, well, what's the heat index? I'm like, it's 92. It's 92. You know, nobody's going to tell me it feels hotter because they don't know how I feel and I don't know how they feel. It's literally part of the global warming cabal BS.
Yeah.
You know, the way you turn on the meteorologist and not only are they getting uglier, by the way, oh my God, I don't even want to go there. The meteorologist, the whole map is red. It's like, you're gonna die if you go outside
Okay.
today, and it's all your
I know what you're about to
SUV's
talk
fault.
about.
have you seen the psychology of them changing the colors on the? Is that what you're?
Yes.
The one where
saying?
they show the map from years before, and it's the exact same temperatures.
Yeah, but it's all
but
green
different
and
colors.
blue and
Yeah.
orange.
And
And
now-
when they show
it's all
red
like-
and
Now,
orange,
yeah.
yeah. death.
The
Neon.
big story I heard the
Die.
other day: another life was claimed by global warming as a man died in Death Valley.
Do you
I mean,
know
it
how
is
many
called
people
Death
have
Valley.
died?
He was hiking in Death
Valley?
Valley. People die. That's why they call it Death Valley.
It's not called like Happy, Nice, and Cool Valley. It's Death Valley
I mean-
because it's hot.
Jeez, I mean, I don't know.
People are dumb. All right, let's just get that out
It
of
is
the
a bit
way.
strange that the water temperature down in the Keys right now is 110 degrees.
I've never heard of that.
That's
a
pretty
little, or
toasty.
101. I've never heard of that either. But I mean, you know what? They could be playing us there too, because it could be literally.
Wait,
think
is
about
that
it.
the
What's the
real
real
temperature,
feel?
the heat index of the water?
Think about it. If that one water temperature indicator that's indicating at 101 degrees, which is a world record, if it's in an area where there's only 6 inches of water,
Yeah.
that's going to be completely understandable.
I don't know,
But if
that's
it's
like-
in an area
that's
that's
jacuzzi
6
hot.
feet of water, that's
the worst
insane.
one. Yeah.
That's insane. That's like, boiling fish. Like, you could actually eat the grouper after you catch it. It's done.
Nice.
Yeah.
Comes out done.
Yeah, I noticed all these people down in the Keys right now for the mini season. They're down there. It's a 3-day lobster season.
Yeah.
And every knucklehead in the world goes down there with their boat, and like it's just nuts. It's
Those are
pandemonium.
huge lobsters
Yeah,
down there.
and they're allowed to keep X amount of lobsters and blah blah blah. And I noticed none of the lobsters in all the pictures on Instagram today were cooked. If the water's 100 degrees, I'm pretty sure that lobster is going to be ready to eat.
Right,
Yeah.
that's where I was going with that. Like that's you stick your toes in a jacuzzi, and
Yeah.
jacuzzis get
But
what,
like you
to,
said, maybe it's
120?
the real feel. Maybe it's the real feel heat index, the water heat index. This is what the water would feel like if it actually was that temperature.
What if temperatures all? No, I'm not.
So I mean, I understand the wind chill, right?
Yeah.
Because wind
Yeah, wind
can,
does.
can make the pain of cold worse because it's, I don't know the science behind it. It's drying out your skin or whatever, or it's evaporating water off your skin as it blows by. But how does heat index work? It's either this temperature or it's not. Now, I understand that blacktop can get up to 165 degrees because they've been talking about that a lot on the media.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah.
heat gun in the blacktop. You can cook an egg on this. Don't take your doggies outside.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe if you're standing on that blacktop, it's hotter, but it's not a real feel heat. It's literally what it is right there because the blacktop is cooking you.
Well, yeah.
You know, I think everything is a lie. I'm kind of right there with that chick on the airplane.
Welcome.
Yeah,
I'm right there with the chick on the
like-
airplane. You know, the hot chick with the big tatas that was like,
I don't remember
that
her
guy
having...
right there is not real.
There's been 2 people on video doing that, like all around the same time, too.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. There's a guy.
I only saw the lady.
No, there was a guy, too, who literally was same thing. He's freaking out, literally saying the same stuff.
Why do you think that?
It's 2023, man.
Well,
I'm
first
not
of all-
anything off the table. Like I don't trust anything.
Literally, Congress for the last week has had 3 whistleblowers talking about aliens and how we have alien biology and we have alien ships. You know,
they're
same stuff.
Shoving the alien stuff. Really
they've
hard.
been shoving it down our throat, and nobody cares.
Yep.
No, it's like that sounds about right.
Well, and it is. And the funny thing is, it's not because nobody believes them. And it's not because people are smart enough to know that this is just a distraction.
You know what's happening right now? Socially, we are the frog in the water that keeps getting the temperature turned up.
But it's only the real feel, right?
Touche.
Well played, sir. Well played. My, how the turntables have turned.
I'm just saying. It's. Did you see Mitch McConnell?
Dude, what happened to that? Did they forget to change the batteries?
These people are all aliens, dude. Somebody like the AI, the server came unplugged.
Conspiracy talk.
My comment on that was only halfway joking. I commented, well, in his defense, with this heat, the lizard people do get dehydrated faster.
Yeah, no, it's part of me.
McConnell
Part of
looks
me
like a
thinks,
lizard person.
you know, that these people, you know, Biden, his whole administration,
Yeah.
they're aliens. That's why they're telling us aliens exist, because they know we're not going to believe it. Hide in plain sight.
Yeah.
No, I think it's one of those like revelation of the method things. Like if I tell you
Wait, revelation of the meth head?
method.
Oh.
Like I'm going to tell you what
I'd
I'm going to do.
rather it be revelation of the meth head.
Weird sort of tweaker version of Star Wars.
Have you heard of revelation? Okay. Revelation of the method, where they tell you what they're going to do before they do it, because they believe in this like karmic. If we tell you before we do it, then we're
that's why
absolved
things that happen
of...
in real life always happen in a movie first.
Yes.
Like The Simpsons.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's
South Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing with aliens.
Okay.
Yeah. Except there's sprinkling some Project Bluebeam in there, and then
Project Bluebeam.
Yeah.
Please explain.
Holograms.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Princess Leia. But better.
Yeah. Well, so this is just totally my opinion. I have zero proof of this, but I think that they're going to do either aliens and or some sort of like fake second coming with holograms.
Nothing would surprise me. I mean, they were able to have 2 pocket Coachella.
Oh yeah, and that was years ago.
Yeah.
Have you
And it
seen
was
the ones?
good.
There's some videos from I think it's like China where they have holograms of like blue whales. It's in an auditorium. It looks so real. It's crazy.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, between AI and deep fake stuff, the
deep fake stuff is kind of scary.
I really want to disconnect from the world so badly.
No,
Yeah.
just screens.
Yeah.
Not
Screens.
people, just screens.
But if those people have screens, I need to disconnect from them too.
I'm not against it. I'm cool with that. I'm on board.
Okay. So we could start our own commune.
I feel like that's happened before and usually goes bad. Something about drinking Kool-Aid and things get weird.
Also, the government doesn't like when you do your
Oh,
own thing.
that's right.
Remember that other one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one in Waco
Yeah.
that the ATF killed, and then they make an anniversary post every year celebrating it.
Yeah.
That one.
That one.
Yeah. That's my new goal is I got a T-shirt that says ATF
Weird
is gay.
segue. Okay.
Yeah, I know. And my goal is to get a picture wearing that shirt next to an ATF agent.
Well, they
I may
shop
be
in our
good.
stores, so. You know,
Yeah,
just
that's
have to
why
know when
I'm
they're
just
there.
waiting for the time to happen. I'm going to be really pumped.
Do they secret shop you
Speaking
guys?
of,
It's not
well,
really secret.
I'm sure they do, but we also have agents that come in to buy gear. You know, like
Oh.
we
Yeah,
have
on a
lots
regular
of,
basis.
you know.
Oh, okay.
We had a federal agent in the. I'm not going to say it was an ATF agent. I'm not going to say what branch of the federal branch Davidians they were, but we had an agent in the other day that brought in a really, really cool rifle. I'm not going to say what the rifle is in case he's listening or somebody else is. Really cool rifle. It was a 30-06, right? And he hands it to me, and somebody says, "Hey, you check that, right?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I check all my guns." Blah blah blah. And I pull the bar, the bolt back, and sure enough, there's a 30-06 sitting there, just happy giant bullet just sitting in the chamber. And this is a federal agent, so you got to know the status of your guns, guys, before you walk into a gun shop, before you put the gun in your truck, before you take the gun out of the house, before you put the gun in your holster. You should know if it's loaded or not. Not because when you put it away it was unloaded, or because when you put it down it was unloaded. I've seen God throw bullets into guns before. So if we want to talk about one thing today that is gun related, it is always know the condition of your weapon.
Anytime anybody asks, like, goes to pick up one of my guns, is this loaded? I just go, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Like, you come in and hand me a loaded weapon, I'm fine. I'm not scared of a loaded gun. But when somebody tries telling me they cleared it out first, and then
you're
it's
scared
loaded,
of the person.
then it's more like you don't know what you're doing, and you're probably.
We literally have a jar, a big plastic jar
Yeah.
on the counter at TacticalSht in St. Peter's that says it's not loaded.
Yeah, it's not loaded.
It's
jar.
got 2 or 3 inches of bullets in the jar. This
Do
is
you
a
keep
big
'em?
jar,
Yeah.
like a gallon mayonnaise jar, right? And
We also publicly humiliate whoever does. Like, I'm completely fine. We're courteous. We help people. We will answer your questions and be as friendly as possible all day long.
I don't know. Shaming works sometimes.
Yeah, the second you do that, you're going to get publicly humiliated.
And hopefully you remember not to do that again.
Well,
Exactly.
if anything else, we
Horrible.
might be saving your life by embarrassing the neglect out of you, the liability, the whatever the word is.
That's scary.
And if you flag one of my customers or one of my employees with a loaded gun or a customer, you're going to get your gun skipped across the parking lot.
Yeah, flagging
By me
means
personally.
pointing the gun at somebody.
Yeah.
So on the gun thing, knowing the condition of your gun, the way we check the condition of our gun, say when we're putting it in the holster, is we do what's called a press check.
Yep.
Right. A press check can be done without your finger anywhere near the trigger. There's several different ways to do it. If you're good, you can do it one-handed. You just gently pull back the slide, visually see whether or not there is brass or a shell in your breech.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have to unload the gun. You don't have to cock the gun any further. You just kind of slide it open, look inside. If you want to see how that's done, watch the movie Heat. When Al Pacino's in the elevator, he does a famous press check on his 45 ACP.
That's my homework.
It's rare you see it in movies, too. That was impressive.
Well, I mean, Heat was one of the best tactical,
Yeah.
correct movies ever made because Michael Mann, the producer, also the producer of Miami Vice, sent all of those actors to the FBI training academy in Quantico, Virginia to actually learn how to fight with guns.
Yeah.
And that's why it was actually a really well done movie that no gun guy can watch Heat and pick it apart. There's nothing wrong with that movie.
Oh, that's so fun.
There-
Makes me want to
sadly,
be an actor.
No Terran Tactical at the time, so that's where they had to
That's
send
what I was just going to say.
Yeah, that's where everybody goes now for training.
Have you, speaking of movies, right?
Yeah.
So like Terran Tactical trains John Wick,
Yep.
right? And John Wick 4 was an epic movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely epic.
Yeah.
But it is not in any way realistic.
No.
It is absolute gunjitsu, right?
Yeah.
Gun fu.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about what gun fu is right after this. We'll be right back. Try that real feel stuff in a small town.
True story.
We keeping you awake, bro?
Yeah.
This is literally the last segment of the radio show. You have to stay awake for 10 minutes and 19 seconds.
Okay, wait, I want to hear what gun fu is.
Gun fu?
Yeah.
Gun fu? What?
Is that like curving the bullet or something?
No. Okay, so you remember
That's the
kung
Matrix.
fu? I mean, you're probably
not
not.
the Matrix.
Or the
You're not
Wild
old
One.
enough to remember kung fu.
I actually enjoyed quite a few bold Asian movies.
Kung fu movies.
No, they weren't all kung fu.
Yeah. Well, so Alex, can you explain to me what kung fu is?
It's a type of martial arts.
Well, it's really a type of movie involving martial arts. Right?
Yeah, they're usually really corny.
Very orchestrated.
Yeah.
Extremely choreographed fighting. Okay.
The talking is usually like 2 minutes off of the mouth movement. It's
yes,
awesome.
which you know what we
That's
should
the
do our
best part.
podcast that way. That would be
Yes.
awesome. We should do that.
Yeah,
We
just
should
do a slight delay.
Yeah, I'm surprised with Dixon's skill set. I'm surprised it's not already like that.
My Netflix does that every once in a while, and it drives me insane. Like I've tried to
Yeah,
see
you have to
how
pause it and then rewind
Yeah.
it and then try to get it to
drives
try to
me
get it to
insane
sync
when
back
that
up.
happens.
So gun fu is a modern day take on kung fu, where they're basically choreographing the gunfights and the firearm and the gun violence, as the liberals call it.
Yeah.
You know, they're choreographing it to the point of spectacular. It's just amazing. You know,
It's like a dance.
Yeah, you know, it's like 3 backflips with a half twist and shoot 6 guys in the room at the same time, and
Yeah.
you know, it's very, very unrealistic, but yet because of modern technology, AI, animation,
awesome.
it just looks amazing.
So is it similar to, because I've seen the first 3, I didn't see John Wick 4. Is it similar to The Matrix in what you're...
I would say The Matrix is early gun fu.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most OG ones. But at the same time, I don't. There was a little bit of it. The scene where he's in the building, the federal building, and
in the lobby?
Yeah,
The lobby scene? It's one of my
He's
favorites.
doing all those flips and twists.
Yeah,
and
that was
jump.
absolutely
That's
gun fu. Yeah.
that definitely is.
And so we've got
no, the original one actually. I'm sorry, Equilibrium with Christian Bale. If you
Really?
haven't seen that, that is just spectacular. That's the original gung fu.
we'd actually do our next podcast should be the top 10 gun fu movies ever made.
Yeah, that's probably the most. So, without geeking out on it too much, it's they're in a almost like 1984 type society where
You mean
all
like now?
emotion worse, all emotions banned, art, music, all that stuff is banned, TV's banned, and those who serve the state get picked at a very young age and are taught this very choreographed, like they did all this analysis of like hundreds of years of gunfights and watched all these movies and analyzed the perfect stance and places and movements to do for each shot to never get hit. So there'll be scenes where they're taking down, like one guy is in a gunfight with like 20 dudes, but he ducks, knee, bent over, sideways, at all these different points like a dance, and he's able to get, because it's predictable what people do is what it's supposed to be.
Gotcha.
So they're able to use this and come up with the perfect dance of he shoots everybody, like kills all 30 people in a matter of seconds and never gets hit. But the fact that they go into a backstory of like how they're trained to do that, and there's actually a process behind it, not just you're a ninja. It's actually pretty cool, and it's a good movie to boot.
Sweet. So we will do that. Please make a note that the next show we're going to do the top 10 gun fu movies. We need to make sure that there's 10 of them out there. It might be the top 7. I don't know. But if you're listening and you know of a gun fu movie, you know, mention it in the app. If you're on the Real Talk app, put it in the app. Otherwise, go to our YouTube channel, comment it there, or on any of the podcast channels. The reason I wanted to bring that up is John Wick was awesome. John Wick 4.
Yeah.
Right? With the exception of the falling down the stairs scene, which I thought was just beyond stupid.
I thought they added that in there, knowing Keanu Reeves' kind of weird humor.
Yeah.
I think that was supposed to be almost a comedic break in the movie.
It had to be. It had to be. Because he literally just falls down stairs for
Over
like
and over.
20 minutes. He's just falling down the stairs. Anyway, I wanted to make an observation. So I watched while I was all drugged up and laid up. I watched Guy Ritchie's The Covenant 2. I think it was The Covenant. No, it wasn't The Covenant. Not Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. It was Extraction 2.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen
Extraction 2 is amazing.
Really?
But it is.
People were tearing it apart.
It is. Well, they're probably tearing it apart
He
because
took cover behind a ladder.
hold on. Extraction 1 was extremely tactically correct and a very good gunfight movie.
Yeah.
Extraction 2, I'm saying right now, is a better gun fu movie than John Wick 4.
Wow.
Really?
Bold
That's
claim.
a hefty claim.
I'm thinking there is just the violence of action, the choreographed violence of action is at that level. if not exceeding it. However, because it's gun fu, there was some ridiculous stuff. You know,
Honorable mention.
Nobody could get shot that many times and live. That sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honorable mention that's accurate, that is spectacular, Terminal List.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Terminal
List is...
I wouldn't say Terminal List is gun fu, though.
No. It's borderline just because
Terminal
of
List is just tactical
skill
awesomeness.
and pure like violence of action.
Yeah.
Makes it close to that.
Well, if you've read the books, the Jack Carr book series, it's just amazing. Like there is not a better writer on earth if you're into that sort of thing. You know, and I've been into reading those kind of books for a long time. The whole Jason Bourne-ish, assassin, geopolitical stuff, and
It's like Tom Clancy on steroids.
right. Well, it's like Tom Clancy, but if Tom Clancy was actually a Navy SEAL that deployed.
Yeah.
Because Jack Carr was a Navy SEAL that deployed, and he's got friends like Dom Rosso and guys like that can tell him stories, and then he puts the stories in the book. Like Dom's the Dynamis Alliance blades that we carry. We all carry them in our appendix. That's actually in the book and in the movie. What is it? The flathead, the combat flathead, which is basically a screwdriver that you stab people with. Yeah. That's in the movie.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
The tomahawk in the movie, I believe, is originally from half-face blades, or some sort of influence from half-face blades. He actually in the movie Terminal List, he actually talks about half-face, but as a character, but not like bringing that reality to kind of paralleling reality. So yeah, that could be a whole nother podcast for us. But the Terminal List is not gun fu, no way.
No.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me I should watch that. I haven't watched it.
It is fantastic. It is fantastic.
What is your favorite movie?
Barbie? Legends of the Fall. Has been for like 20 years.
Legends of the Fall. Isn't that a baseball movie?
What? No, Brad Pitt, 90s.
One of those Brad Pitt chicks.
No, I mean, this is like literally 20 years ago. I don't know. I don't really watch movies anymore.
Brad Pitt has like a super gangster setup, Dyna or FXR.
Really?
Yeah, like a built, beautifully built, high-end, performance-based FXR.
Huh.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Now she likes him even more.
Nah, I don't know.
What's Legends of the Fall about? I've never seen it.
You know what? You should see it. I don't want to ruin it for you. It's amazing. It's
World War I movie, isn't it?
I
can't remember what time.
So they're in Montana, and they have this beautiful house. And well, he's kind of okay. I don't want to ruin the whole movie. You have to see it, okay? He plays every guy's dream character because he's just this like rugged, doesn't follow the rules, also leaves a wake of bad things behind him. But he like cleans up his act and he gets a family and stuff. But you should watch it. It's good. It's also kind of sad. Yeah. So probably that one. I don't know. Gladiator was amazing. I love The Matrix.
Gladiator was really well done.
What's that one? Okay, this is going to kill me. The guy who trained Bruce Lee. What's his name? Oh, Ip Man.
Those are
also
fantastic.
One of my favorite movies.
Yeah, those are fantastic.
Pretty great. Used to be Star Wars, but then Star Wars got bought by Disney, and I disassociated myself. Yeah.
Bruce Lee. Then you got Brandon Lee, The Crow.
They're redoing The Crow.
Are they really?
Yeah,
They're
next
redoing
year.
everything.
One of the Skarsgård brothers.
Well, that was a really loud plane that just went overhead here at the Real Talk Studios.
It was impressive.
Yeah. So if they're going to redo The Crow,
yeah,
who's doing it? Like Disney, or are they going to make it like a white bird?
Probably.
They're going to make it a dove?
No. I can't remember who's doing it, but it looks.
Is it going to be as dark as The Crow?
It looks darker. It's one of the. I mean, it's one of the Skarsgårds, the same one who played Pennywise in It. So that's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah. I'm surprised anybody would remake that, though, after Brandon Lee died doing it.
Yeah. That whole thing.
That whole story, because he didn't know the condition of the gun.
Bingo.
And, he got, what's
Alec Baldwin.
He got Alec Baldwin.
That's tragic.
But, I never will understand why Hollywood uses real guns as props.
No.
Because I've worked in Hollywood on Range 15, and they were definitely not real. They were real guns, but they were converted. There was no way they could fire a real bullet.
Yeah. They should be using UTM guns or something.
Yeah.
What's UTM?
Ultimate Training Munitions.
Oh, is it ultimate? Too?
Yes. It's basically spicy paintball.
It hurts.
Oh, wait, question. Is that similar to the combat air...
iCombat?
No, something North 818? something.
18 North Central.
18 North Central.
That's iCombat. That's just laser.
Yeah, that's just laser tag.
Laser.
Yeah, there's no pain involved.
UTM is
pain.
Like, you're
I
going
just
to want to
did
wear layers.
I just did the laser, whatever it is, combat laser tag, and that was so fun.
It does, but real tactics don't really work much in that one. I mean,
Yeah.
you can.
I haven't
you
done
can
it,
use
so
some.
I can't speak about it. But we're out of time.
Our
Our last show is over. It's ended. It's over. So we are going on our tactical sabbatical. And if you don't subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is the TacticalSht YouTube channel, or subscribe to this podcast on any place you find podcasts, you will not hear us during the tactical sabbatical. But we will continue doing what we do every week and hopefully be back on the air this fall with a new show. And hopefully you got a piece of it today, a little taste of what it'll be like. But subscribe to our podcast. Keep your head on a swivel out there. Always know the condition of your gun. And I will catch you all on the flip side.